Welcome to the Campfire, ladies and gentlemen.
We've been talking about this for a minute, man, and we're finally getting on it. So we had subjects that we wanted to talk about, but we figured this first one, we're just going to jump into it and just talk about the dumb shit we usually talk about.
Indeed. So
go ahead. I'm going to let you get that.
For today's topic, we would like to discuss the shit that's going on in our world.
You wouldn't be talking about the 2020 elections, would you? Would you be talking about our new sitting chief, Biden?
He's not our new sitting. He is the president-elect. Soon to be. January 20th.
What's going on with the recount, though? You think that the recount's going to actually...
I was a little worried. I thought that maybe we would not get the switch over. This nigga will pull some type of Houdini out the hat. You know, use his white powers to fucking somehow steal an election that he clearly lost and shit, which he did already. I was like, oh, he's gonna do it again.
Let me tell you, man, I did like a podcast probably 2 weeks ago, man, and in the podcast, not 2 weeks ago, but like after the elections, which was on the 4th. If that was 2 weeks ago, forgive me, I drink a lot. But I did like this podcast, and when I did it, I was talking about how like Trump won, and I was even like making it from the basis that Trump won. So like for me now, seeing that Trump did not win and that Biden is our president, it actually took me for a loop, man. Kind of fucked me up.
I'm just wondering, have we jumped out the fire into the frying pan, though? It's not the greatest president-elect. Not that we've ever had a great one, unless you want to count Obama and JFK. Those are the only ones that, stand out to me and don't got no smut on their name.
If
no
Obama and JFK were on Tekken, they would definitely be Eddie Gordo. They'd be the safe ones to talk about. You know what I'm saying? They're the ones we all go to when it comes to good elects that we feel.
And let's say this, if you don't like Obama, if you don't like JFK, if you know something that we don't know, or if you're just a fucking, white guy who hates the fact that a black guy was a fucking president, or you're a fucking, Christian that hates the fact that a Catholic guy was with a weird, accent was the president, then, fuck y'all. We're not talking about y'all. We're talking about, shit that they might have done that was unpresidential, which both I've heard have done. And, you always hear Obama didn't do nothing for black people. Then you hear JFK, what his mob ties and things like that. So nobody's perfect.
Right.
But this is what I'm asking.
What's going on?
Why don't we, matter of fact, with this job, you're the leader of the free world, the most powerful man on the planet. Shouldn't you, with this job, whether you're a Republican, Democrat, or what have you, shouldn't you look the part and sound the part? Ooh. Shouldn't that be a prerequisite? And I know that might be kind of like ill to some people and whatnot, but look, all these people, nobody is actually what they say they are, so can we at least get the nice package? That's what I'm asking at this point.
I could dig that. I could dig that, man.
Like why are old 70-year-olds and you're the prime candidate for that position?
Maybe bingo.
Exactly.
At best. That's all I can say. But no, I get you, man. I definitely think that we've come to a time, man, where look, let's just call it what it is, okay? And the only way I can speak on this is as a black voter, because I feel like that's the most relevant way to speak on this subject. I feel like we've come to a time where, definitely we can recognize that the people who run things are those old 70-year-old evangelical Christian white Americans. You know what I mean? And just to answer that question, that's why I think a lot of people put water into the bucket of the older crowds, the 70-year-olds. But in that same breath, that's the problem. Are you really asking the guy who grew up in the 50s about how things should be going on in 2020?
Exactly. There lies the problem. Didn't it feel good? You know why Obama and JFK will go down in history as two of probably the best presidents ever? It's because they were young. They were young. They were good looking. You know, they looked like they were still had their senses. Come on, let's like we all voted for Biden and everything. I didn't vote, but you know, everybody voted for Biden. And if I did vote, I would have voted for Biden. But if I had a choice between him and some nice, good-looking young stud out of Harvard, I would have took that guy because he's younger. He actually cares about the future. So it's I don't know. I just can't be at a point where we're going down this road, which is why I didn't vote this time around, because I'm tired of the same old thing. I'm tired of vanilla. Give me some Rocky Road, damn it. I'm not even a fan of Rocky Road either, but I'll take anything at this point that isn't vanilla, which is why I think we have Biden in right now. But don't you think it's time to, everything gets revamped, redone, redid. You know, Plez, you were just talking about you watched Total Recall the other day.
Yeah.
I watched the newer version.
It's fucking amazing.
Yeah, the Arnold.
To think about watching Total Recall, man, and I'm sure I can make this fit into what we're talking about, right? The thing about watching Total Recall is that I had a memory of what Total Recall was, right? Kind of like these old voters have a memory of what their country was, right? And I reveled off that. I loved it. Anytime anybody would talk about Total Recall, I would always have a rebuttal, or I would bring up the old movie, even though the new movie came out in the 2000s. I don't know if you guys remember that, right? But in truth, I actually watched it again, and it's been like 10 years since the last time I watched it, and I'm watching it as a man, and I'm realizing how dope the fucking movie is, right? Now, I'm sure people listening are like, how the fuck does that even go with this politics? But what I'm saying is, it was good the way I remembered it, right? But the actual fact of what it really was and a new understanding of the movie made me realize it's actually better than I thought. I feel the same way about this country. I think the old realization that they have and that they want to hold on to, and they're willing to claim they're going to go to civil war over, which they won't, and that's a whole nother podcast. But I think what they are so strong to hold on to is that old idea of what they thought was good times. And it's like, you know, yeah, you might have a good time in a house full of just people that look like you, but man, if you were to invite so many people that look differently, there's so many possibilities. And I think that's how our government and our politics are right now. You know what I mean?
No, they want us here. We're part of the.
But how do they want us here? Is it wanting us here in a sense of like?
Well, it's more of a need. They need us here. We're part of the sales package. You know what I mean? America, the melting pot. You know what I mean? The land of opportunity, streets of gold, and all that jazz. This is we're part of the package. We are part of the sales pitch. We are literally what makes America great. This you know, if it was just all white people, it'd be England. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. So that's that. We are part of the sales pitch. And the problem with that is that, you know, as being such a important part of this whole machine called America, we're the gears that are forgotten and unoiled, and you know, just not really taken care of. So
I like that what you said right there, that the gears that are forgotten. How many times do you pull $600 out of an ATM machine and actually think about the machine's mechanics that allow you to do so?
Exactly.
I think that is like a perfect representation of us as a people in this country. You don't think about our attributes. You just know that they exist, and if they go away, you know, things get harder. You know, things start to fuck up. You know what I mean? Like Gideon said, we are the gears within the machine that you don't think about, but you use the machine like it's the last day of your life. Exactly. You know what I mean? Like I can definitely dig that. Like I feel that too. I think that whole forgottenness is one of the on an onion. In an onion, it's one of the layers of our problems currently as Black Americans within the nation. It is that forgetfulness, that fuck you, nigger, go do your stuff. But I need you to be where you always are. You know, I need you to play your position for us to work.
Exactly. And like, with that said, the president, you know, he's supposed to be the representation. Like, now we're not even talking about how fucked up it is and how crooked these people are and this, that, and the third. We're just saying, if we're playing this game, it would be nice if y'all played by the same rules. And not even saying that, just saying that, hey, you want America to look great, you want it to be the country that leads the way in the world, then if you're gonna have a poster boy, can he at least be somebody that we can all look at collectively and be like, whether you like his views or not, you'd be like, hey, I like that package. You know what I mean? And I don't know if you got, but who likes the package of Biden? You know?
I don't think any of us like the package of
He's
Biden. Like, to be honest with you,
you know,
I think like just like earlier what we were talking about. I think that number one, we wanted Trump out, so we were willing to do what it took to get Trump out. Number one. I think second, we all recognize the pedophilia within Biden and his creepiness, but we see it in Trump too. And then I think three, at least personally for me, it's kind of like, all right, you sit right there, Biden. Let me go talk to Kamala Harris, and it's like, I'm gonna put this extra weight on you.
I just had a crazy idea
to get this done, because we obviously aren't looking at the Biden as a president to get it done, but we're gonna look at the next best thing, which is you, ma'am.
Like, what if this is all some type of sick, like, you know, kind of social? This is all some type of sick social like play to like test us and just see what's gonna happen. Like, what if, like,
I don't think it would be any different than what normally goes on in America.
I mean, like, but what if this was like a thing to where, okay, we gave them what they wanted, right? The young, hip, black president, right? And what if Trump was pushed, because it seemed like a super long shot, right? And then suddenly it just started working.
Yeah.
And you got to give Trump his props in that as well, because, you know, he was charismatic enough to pull it off. Mm-hmm. But what if he got that extra push for this experiment, just to be like, let's push America to the brink, and that so we can get back to the status quo, which is the old 70-year-old white man. Let's push them so hard that once we give them back the status quo, they're happy. You know what I mean? Like, let's feed them shit, so when we give them chitlins, they're like, this is the best thing ever. You know what I mean? Like, was this a sick experiment or some type of mental manipulation?
Like some kind of mental fuckery.
Yeah,
like
just to
I don't see, the thing is,
keep
like,
it like that.
Even if I don't think of these things to be like exactly what's going on, I don't put past them when they are the things going on.
Right.
I mean, let's go all the way back, and I'm not talking Civil War. I'm not talking about Mayflower docking. I'm not talking about the Sunshine Jesus Christ being the first slave ship to bring slaves to Mississippi. What I'm talking about is way back, like way back to Americans or pilgrims coming to the soil of America. It was faulty then. Look, you can have the most beautiful mansion you want, but if your foundation is mud, it's going to crumble. That's America. We've started so fucked up.
I mean,
I think we've started so fucked up back then.
Look, I don't like what came of it. I don't agree with none of the results, of course, and everything, and the hardships it's put on my people. But I do respect conquerors.
Yeah.
I do respect.
Ooh, so let me ask you.
Yeah.
Let me ask you. And you guys got to follow, I hope you guys are sipping and
I don't
smoking,
mind them conquering the land. What I mind is what they did after they conquered the land.
How do you feel about our home city, El Paso, Texas? Put it down for Chucatown. How do you feel about them removing the Conquistador Oñate from the airport and changing the name of Oñate at in Las Cruces High School because it encompasses conquistador behavior, which kind of encompasses the whole Confederate behavior and us removing those statues of European settlers coming in and fucking people over.
That's a thin line. It's a thin line between a dictator and a conqueror. It's a thin line between like the savage inhumanness that occurred and just somebody taking over, and because conquering in itself is a savage thing. You know what I mean? So, like, nobody gives the Vikings flack for all the damage they did. You know what I mean? Because they...
I think nobody gives the Vikings flack for what they did is because the lineage that the Vikings had kind of turned into the colonialism of what we deal with.
So, like, what I'm saying is this, like, in Africa as well, like, war, conquering, exploring, those are normal human things once you have a society and there is uncharted land. That is just going to happen eventually. I want what you got. That looks pretty cool over there. Let me have it. No, fine, I'll take it.
I don't have it. I need it.
Yeah.
Are you willing to fight as hard as I am?
Yeah, let's see. You know what I mean? And that's just human nature. So we have to be careful when, like, in that situation, I would have to really know that person's story, because it's what we're taking these statues down for is not you being a conqueror. Christopher Columbus is, not vilified for discovering America and the voyage he took. That took guts, you know what I mean? That took a sense of adventurism and all that good stuff. The problem is when you got here, how you acted and what you did and things of that nature. You as an individual or a group of your, peers, y'all mind state, the evilness that came with that. So that's why I think a lot of those statues are coming down, the generals and whatnot, because these people, as you look into their history, the evidence is there that they're just evil people, and that's what we don't want to celebrate. Right. But somebody who is just a conqueror, like a conquistador, coming to discover land and conquer and whatnot, is savage. But, like, what lineage are you leaving? Like, I don't know.
Hey, we're gonna end off on that because I gotta wrap it up. But we're gonna continue on that.